Hey Blue Jays, it's time for another episode of Blue Jay Journal TV.
On this week's episode, we'll take a look at the national substitute shortage of WHS. Molly Bauer has the story about the Loving Hearts backpack program, and we'll take a look into the career of Mr. Tim Rinne.
All these stories and more, but first, let's start with some announcements.
The WHS Library will be hosting a Cocoa and Cram session Monday, December 19th and Tuesday, December 20th from 3:30 to 7 p.m. Come bring some snacks, food, and something to study with.
Fall River applications are due January 5th.
Don't forget to purchase your 2022-2023 yearbook for $55. Cost goes up in second semester.
It is no secret that school districts everywhere have been facing a substitute teacher shortage. Our reporters take a look at how this shortage has affected the Washington School District.
There has been a national shortage of subs throughout the U.S., and it is directly impacting Washington High School.
During COVID, many subs did not want to be in the schools, and so there were ample opportunities every day to sub.
It's been declining in the last 6 or 7 years probably.
I think the main reason we've had a sub shortage is mainly because we have a teacher shortage. Like, we're not dealing with just a single district. Like, this is a problem that's affecting not just Missouri, not just the Midwest, but like across the nation. We have a nationwide shortage of teachers, and if there's a shortage of teachers, there's naturally going to be a shortage of subs as well, just because the fields are connected.
In general, I think sub shortages affect us in terms of how we manage instruction and supervise students. At the middle school and high school, because you go period by period, you can have somebody who's on a planned time pick up one class, and so maybe 6 or 7 people can pitch in to manage the day, versus at the elementary, you're with your class all day long. So that looks very different in how we pull people to manage that absence.
I usually try to keep myself about 1 to 2 weeks ahead of schedule. That way, if there's ever a day where I'm gone, a sub is fully prepared. All they have to do is come in, click on my notes on Google Classroom, and they could virtually teach the class if they needed to.
So I think it's really hard on teachers, because when they're giving up time that they are planning or entering data or returning phone calls or touching base with students and their families, obviously they can't do that during the day if they're getting pulled to sub.
The District of Washington is working on a plan to further incentivize more substitutes to come and work in the school.
One of the solutions was to hire people full-time with benefits to be people that float around, especially in our elementary schools, and cover positions that aren't filled. Additionally, we've raised sub pay a couple times. We pay our teachers when they have to give up planned time to sub.
Mrs. Graham has some lasting words that keeps her motivated for being a substitute teacher.
The kids are great. I enjoy them, and they have great energy, and they're just wonderful people.
For Blue Jay Journal TV, this is Emily McCormick reporting.
Molly Bauer brings us a story about how the Loving Hearts Community Outreach Program partners with school districts to provide food for students over the weekend with their backpack program.
The School District of Washington Backpack Program is a program to help students in need. Our backpack program works with volunteers and our alternative education program, so we pack bags every week on Thursday, about 100 bags a week, and then those bags go to students that need just extra food for the weekend.
Access to food is vital for students' ability to learn.
Because we live in Washington, in this area, we tend to think everybody has food. The truth is, there are still kids and families that have food insecurity. Our goal is to make sure that kids have food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner throughout the entire weekend. You can come to school and you're able to learn when you have your basic needs met.
The Missouri Options Program works with Loving Hearts to package and deliver the bags.
When I took over the Missouri Options Program, part of the requirements is for them to have a community service project. And the backpack program was needing help organizing the bags. We go to Loving Hearts on a weekly period to put together food bags for students that don't have enough food on the weekends. It's not uncommon for my students to have either receive or have received those bags in the past, so it's an opportunity to give back for kindnesses that have been done to them for over the years.
Unfortunately, the program had to temporarily shut down due to food shortages.
We ended up having to kind of pause our program for 2 weeks so we could bring in some money and be able to purchase food. We buy our food with Loving Hearts because they have better buying power, which means they can buy food for less expensive food through the pantries in St. Louis. So the pantries in St. Louis had a food shortage. So when we went to go buy and stock up for this school year, there was nothing really to buy.
Luckily, the program is now back and running thanks to their gracious volunteers.
We've had a lot of big success because we have such great volunteers. We had lots of churches and individuals send in money to support us, and so from there we have enough money to last like 2, 3, maybe 4 months. Our community is really cool that they were able to help us out, but we definitely were facing, you know, a definite food and money shortage.
Jasper has some final words on how you can support the program.
Any kind of help or support for the program would be awesome, and our students and families really do rely on these food bags, so it's a really great program.
For Blue Jay Journal TV, this is Molly Bauer reporting. Our reporters took the halls of WHS to ask students what the most binge-worthy shows are.
I would say the most binge-worthy show is the new Criminal Minds episodes. I watched all 15 seasons of the original, so I'm like watching the new ones as they come out as fast as possible.
The most binge-worthy show for me, I would say, is I just watched Seinfeld on Netflix, probably.
Julie and the Phantom, because it's amazing and awesome.
I would say Criminal Minds because it's really interesting. Probably Stranger Things because like I can't go like just watch one episode. I need to watch like multiple.
Mrs. Flynn and I just finished watching Andor. It is exciting. It's fantastic.
Yellowstone. It's great. There's a lot of action, but there's also, you know, all these other key features, and I love agriculture, and it's kind of like that, but it's just a great show.
Cliques. Groups with similar interests who aren't accepting towards others.
Can I sit with you guys?
Seats taken.
Cliques have a negative impact on high school students by making them feel excluded and unwanted.
Hey guys.
Who are you?
So don't be that type of high school clique. Make students feel included and treat others the way you would want to be treated.
At the end of the first semester, Mr. Tim Rinne will be leaving WHS to start his journey in retirement. Our staff sat down with Mr. Tim Rinne to discuss his career in education to bring back this story for you.
I had really good teachers in high school, and they kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing, and I also wanted to coach, and the best way to do that was to be a teacher.
So I had Mr. Rinne my freshman year, so he really kind of taught me that in high school it's okay to like come out of your shell and have a close relationship with all your teachers.
The biggest thing is that he's been kind of like a consistent force here in the hallway. So when I first started teaching here about 4 years ago, I knew that I could always go out into the hallway and Coach Rinne would be there and I'd be able to ask him questions. If I needed a question answered, you know, he's been around for a really long time. So if I had any questions about how things worked as a teacher here in the building, I knew I could always count on him.
Mr. Rinne is very sarcastic, will always give you a hard time, but he's also very helpful.
Mr. Rinne is a very sarcastic person, but he's very realistic. My favorite memory was just his stories that he always told, like his civil cases. He was one of my favorite teachers here at Washington High School.
He's just been a lot of fun to work with in the hallway, you know, making sure the kids are behaving. That's kind of our primary role out there in the hallway. So I'll definitely miss my 5-minute break periods between classes.
Here's what Mr. Rinne will miss most about Washington.
My friends that I have here that teach, most of the students that I've had, and I, just coming here every day and enjoying being a teacher and coach.
I'll miss seeing him in the hallways every day and saying hello to him.
He offers a lot of comedic relief as well, so I always know that if it's been a hard day or a hard week, I can go out in the hallway and he will very quickly bring me back down to earth and remind me why it is that I do what I do.
Coach Rinne explains his after retirement plans.
There's nothing set. I still want to coach track. Actually, I like to travel, so we'll probably do some traveling.
Coach Rinne's final advice for students.
Put your phones down and look up.
Finals start next week, Blue Jays. Here's the schedule.
First hour final will be Monday, December 19th.
The second and fifth hour finals are on Tuesday, December 20th.
Third and fourth hour final will be Wednesday, December 21st.
Sixth and seventh hour finals are on Thursday, December 22nd.
Thank you for watching our show. Just a reminder, there will be no show next week.
Have a great break.
Bye, Blue Jays.